Welcome back to another video. I'm your trader Sam, and today we're going to look at what has unfolded since yesterday's Bitcoin update, because things have been going to plan so far. We'll also look at what we can expect next over the coming day before the weekend, and look at what is likely to happen next week. But before we jump into it, guys, please remember, I am not a financial advisor. Anything I say in this video is for educational purposes. And you already know what time it is. Smash that subscribe button, smash the like button, and we're going to continue to make this channel grow together. Okay, so let's just jump straight into it. So as you can see here, we have come up, we've gained acceptance above the value area high that we were looking at yesterday. We've broken out of this bump and run pattern, which we did identify as being quite bullish. And we've come up to hit the TP1 zone, the first take profit zone. And we've got a nice retracement on lower volume, back down to the value area high, bouncing precisely off of this trend line, the support trend line. And we have managed to gain acceptance back above the value area high. So right now, everything is still looking like there should be some continuation here to the upside in the coming hours and days. Now, for those of you that didn't see yesterday's update, I just want to quickly go over that and show you one of the possible scenarios that we were looking at, considering we were getting those aggressive higher lows for Bitcoin. We can also see that this bump and run scenario is presenting itself here on the charts, and these can be quite bullish. So if we do break above this sloping trend line, we can be targeting 28K up here where we did put in these highs. And if we break above that, well, then obviously we can be looking up to these lows up here at 28,600 approximately, and then going on to test 30 plus K. Looking at this here, how likely is it that we go higher? Well, this is a bit of a tricky one because although bump and run scenarios are quite bullish, we need to look at the overall context of what is happening. Now, we have rejected in the last few days from the value area high. We have come up to 26,400 and we've failed to get acceptance above this high over here. We have failed twice. Now we are looking to come up and test this region again. However, to get a bit more context, if we do look at the S&P 500, we can see that we are currently at resistance here. Right? We have been struggling to get above these highs at 4,544. Now you might be asking, why am I talking about the S&P 500? It is a group of stocks which generally sets the pace for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto assets. Most of the time, Bitcoin is correlated to the S&P 500, meaning when the S&P 500 is at resistance and Bitcoin is at resistance, you can be expecting a drop, and vice versa. When both are at support, you can be expecting to get a bounce. Now, currently, they are both at resistance. So this would obviously tell us that we could get a rejection here and come down further. But it is a little bit more tricky than that, because we are making these higher lows. Okay, we're making these aggressive higher lows, and you could argue that we are making an ascending triangle here, which can be quite bullish. That's when you do start hitting resistance, you get rejected, but you're making aggressive higher lows, and eventually you do get a breakout above the resistance level. So this is something to watch out for the ES. Going back to Bitcoin, we do have these higher lows playing out as well. Not a clear ascending triangle. However, it is obvious to see that we are making these high lows, these aggressive high lows, getting rejected at the resistance level. And it is possible that we could get an explosion out of this zone. We also do have some news coming out in a few hours. We had the core CPI yesterday, and today we have the core PPI, which is in an hour's time. So I am expecting volatility. You can see how all this is correlating to what is happening on the charts. We are getting to a zone here where the price is going to have to make a decision, because price is constricting. We're making these higher lows. Now it needs to make a decision whether it's going to come up here and get acceptance above these highs, or lose these lows here at 25,765, where we would break market structure and we would go into bearish market structure. So how do you want to trade this zone? Well, because we are at resistance, you could be waiting for price to come up close to the value area high and get into a short position with your stop loss above these highs, or maybe given the reasons that I mentioned before, that we are making these higher aggressive lows, and you do see the potential of this bullish bump and run pattern, maybe you want to wait for the breakout and then on the retest, get in for higher prices, right? Getting in at this retest of the value area high. That could be another option. So looking for longs. Last night before going to bed, I did give an update to the team saying that liking this bump and run pattern for BTC Legends, we can look to get in on the retest. And I drew an explanation here of what we could be looking at. Now that has happened. We've got this pump above and we had the retest. I've managed to get in at the retest. TP zones for this bump and run. We were looking for this 618 region to be hit. And that's exactly what we got. We got this 618 being hit. And that's when we got the retest back down to the value area high. So that was a take profit zone. If you were already in the long, I myself waited for this retest of the trend line and the value area high. And that's where I decided to get in with a tight stop loss here beneath. Yesterday, we spoke about the correlation between the S&P 500 and the rest of the market, with the S&P 500 setting the pace for the rest of the market. So we were talking about these higher lows as we just saw right now. And we did get that breakout of resistance at 4,544. So we've had that breakout. It is likely that the ES will come back down here and retest the zone to see if price will go on further. But as of right now, because the ES is making higher highs and higher lows, it does look like we are going to get some continuation to the upside. This level up here at 4,631 for the ES is extremely important in the short to medium term. So that's about 1.5% away. Assuming that price is going to come up here and test these highs, that's going to give us a bit more room for Bitcoin to continue going on further. The next levels that I'm looking at for Bitcoin are 27,621, where we have this high over here, and then 28,135. This is going to be a level to level environment. Nothing is given, right? It doesn't mean that we're going to come all the way up to 30,447 up here. However, bump and run patterns are quite bullish, so it definitely is possible. But for the purpose of having good risk management and making sure that we walk away with profits, we want to be taking profits, obviously, at each of these levels, and then holding a partial amount of the position for that potential move higher up. In terms of shorts, we will be looking at the reaction at each of these levels, as well as CVD divergences, and just looking at the overall context, like obviously where the ES is at the time as price is moving up, whether it's at resistance or not, adding all these confluences together and making a decision, because we could be even looking for shorts up at these zones. It really just depends on what is happening at the time when price gets there. I do encourage you to set alerts at each of these levels and then assess the situation as price gets there. If you are finding value from these short YouTube updates, guys, I really suggest that you go over to the Legends Discord community, this link over here, where you can check out what we do. We do loads of in-depth analysis. We're extremely active over there. There's live trading and lots of other good stuff. Also, if you're looking for a very reputable exchange to do your business on, I really suggest Bybit. I use Bybit religiously. There's really low fees. It's a seamless setup, very good user interface, and there's loads of support. So if you ever have any issues, there's 24/7 support and you can speak to someone literally within seconds. You can also get up to $30,000 worth in bonuses using this link. So that's it for this quick Bitcoin update, guys. I hope you did find value from this, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.